Hello and welcome back. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of decorating around Nooks. But first, I want to see our island rating. Ooh, we're at 4 stars. That's exciting. Especially since I don't even think we've decorated half of this island. Anyway, we're behind Nook's Cranny, and I'm going to start off by placing some pathing. Or by trying to, at least. And I'm sure this is shocking to no one, because I pretty much start every build video like this, but I have no plan for what we're going to do here. Just a handful of items and vibes. But I think we'll be fine. Since I don't plan on finishing this today, we'll have enough time to think about what we do want to put here and make it look good later. Most of this space from behind Nooks to the river is going to be filler. However, I do want to include a little shipping area for Nooks. Like a little spot where they receive new merchandise. I'm not planning on making that too big, just kind of on the side and maybe a little bit behind Nooks. Gonzo is about to interrupt me for the first time, but man, does he make trying to lay down pathing very difficult. I don't know how many conversations I accidentally started with him today, but it was definitely too many. But I guess it's better having him here than a Dreamy, because I just know that one of our Dreamies would get very upset with me constantly starting a conversation with them for no reason. And I don't really want to make one of my Dreamies mad at me. It has happened before on a previous island of mine, and that villager asked to move not long after, and I let them, and I'll probably never have them on another island again. So I don't want that to happen with these ones. Unless it's Gonzo, then I'm definitely fine with that. Anyway, this path is just gonna take you from the bridge all the way to the path that goes in front of Nook's Cranny. I didn't want to use the stone pathing that we're using everywhere else to show that this isn't part of the downtown area, and I feel like the dirt pathing really gives off the feeling that this is far away from downtown. But this area does get a lot of foot traffic, including me sprinting up and down this multiple times a day, so the dirt path works perfectly here. I know in a previous video we talked about building a picnic here in this spot, but I've decided that this section is just too small for a picnic. Don't worry though, we will still build one. I think it'll just be across the river. I feel like no matter what I do, my pathing always looks a bit odd. If you've got any pathing tips, please leave them below. I could use some. But at least I'm almost done with this section. And here I foolishly thought that if I stood still, Gonzo would leave the area. But he didn't leave, so I moved on to tweaking the path a little bit, and I think that helped make it look less weird. After I decided to give this path a couple of test runs, I decided that this middle blotch of pathing needed to be a little bit bigger. And then I'm pretty much done with the path, but of course I have to give it a few more test runs. And then I think I'll break up the solidness by removing a couple of the center pieces and replacing them with a code that's kind of patchy. I have a couple different versions of the center tile that I'm going to be trying out and seeing which one I like best, which turned out to be a pretty easy task considering one of them didn't fit that great in the pathing. I'm finally done with the pathing, and before I move on to start decorating around Nooks, I did want to add a few items so it didn't look so bare here, mostly just a bush and some flowers. Though I think I have decided that the last pathing splotch is a little bit too solid, and maybe even a little too big. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that real quick, and then I promise I'm done with the pathing. Now that the pathing is finally done, I'm gonna place a stunted tree here next to the waterfall, and then we can move on to decorating Nooks. We're finally outside of Nooks getting ready to decorate, and as I mentioned earlier, I just have a bunch of items and no plan, so I bet we're gonna be moving things around a lot today. Both Nooks and Abel's sisters, when we get around to decorating that one, are only going to be lightly decorated, and pretty generic too. Since in real life, most general stores and clothing stores for that matter don't have that much decoration on the outside of their buildings. Maybe they have just a few display items or something on sale, so that's what we're going to be doing. Behind Nooks, where that cardboard box is where I'm thinking I want to put the little shipping and receiving area. And this section on the left of Nooks is where I want the baskets and shopping carts that you're going to be using when you go inside to shop. And I'm using the triangular topiary as a barrier between the two sections. Well, there's not enough room on the left side of Nooks for the shopping carts and the shopping baskets, so we'll just move the carts over to the right side. I wish we were able to place items on this corner outside of Nooks. I think the stacked shopping baskets would look perfect there. I think I like where the shopping cart is, so I'm gonna go ahead and place a bush, and then we're actually gonna move back to the left side of Nooks since I don't like how I arranged the baskets. Also, I know that I customized these to be green, but I'm kind of regretting that decision. I feel like maybe they should be blue to match the roof, but I think I'll do that later once I figure out the layout. I think it's mostly these flowers that are bothering me since they're shorter than the stacked shopping baskets. So we're just gonna steal this bush real quick and see if that fixes the problem. If not, then we're gonna find a new spot for the stacked baskets and the single basket. I wanted the downtown area to be pretty small, so I got the buildings as close to the staircases as I can, but it leaves these weird one-tile strips on either side that I'm finding a little bit difficult to decorate. The bush is actually not that much taller than the flowers, so I think I'm running into the same issue and we're just gonna have to move the baskets. But honestly, I think this might be for the best. I think they'll make a lot more sense and look better being next to the shopping cart, as long as I can find a good way to arrange them. Which I do have kind of an idea for that, I'm just not exactly sure yet how to execute it, so I'm gonna place the baskets, move on, and hopefully by the time I'm ready to do them, I'll actually know where I want them. Now that the left side of Nooks is actually open, I think we're gonna expand the shipping and receiving area to kinda overflow over here. And first things first, we're gonna place some custom codes before we put any items down. The shipping and receiving area isn't gonna be too crazy, mostly just a whole bunch of boxes. What is Gonzo's deal today? He's just following me around while I build. Hopefully soon he'll be asking to leave, because I really want to do another villager hunt. Sorry if I start running up and down these stairs a bunch, I just like to look at my builds from different angles to make sure it looks good no matter how you see it. I think it's the bush or the flowers that I've been placing here that's been throwing me off, so we're gonna try it without them. And since we'll no longer be using the bush on the left side of Nooks, I can go ahead and replant it in its old spot on the right side of Nooks. And I have thought of a new way to arrange the shopping baskets, so we're also going to give that a try while we're over here. But first I'll need to fix the path that I accidentally kicked away. In order for my new idea to work, I'll need to rotate the shopping cart. And then we'll scooch over the stacked shopping baskets so that way they can be next to the shopping cart. They feel a little bit disproportional next to each other. I mean, one shopping basket is about the same size as the shopping cart. I ended up moving the shopping baskets back to the left side of Nook since it looked a little funny next to the small shopping cart, which I'm fine with since we tried a few different variations and this just happens to be the one that works best. So now that the shopper items have been placed, we can go ahead and start working on the shipping and receiving area, which is just a bunch of stacked boxes. I have cut out so much footage of me rearranging boxes, I think I need a little bit of a break. Well, I took a little bit longer of a break than I anticipated, so I don't think we'll be doing a whole lot more decorating around Nooks today, but we will come back to finish it later. So let's see what else we can get done today since there isn't really that much left to do at Nooks. Has Flick been here all day? I have been storing so many insects waiting for him to be here so I could turn them in to get some models. Luckily, we'll be getting 3 of them out of my storage right now. Now we're gonna head to the beaches on the right side of the island since that's where I've been storing a bunch of my spare flowers. And I do think I want flowers near Nooks, I'm just thinking maybe either the flower type or color I was originally using just didn't fit well. But that's gonna have to wait a little bit since we found a lost item and I don't have a current use for it, so I'm actually gonna try and find the owner this time. Luckily it wasn't too hard to find the owner, it happened to belong to the first villager I talked to. Ooh, and we even get a gift for giving it back to him? I don't know what I'm gonna do with the Newton's cradle, but we'll take it anyways. Oh, and this is where I've moved the tree farm to since we started building where it was first located. Well, I was running around looking for a bottle on the beach and I ended up finding something better. A thought bubble on Shep. He's not Gonzo, but he's also not a Dreamy, so we're gonna be saying goodbye to Shep. While we didn't get any more decorating done, we did get a thought bubble, and I think this is a good place for me to take off for the day. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me while we continue to build the island. If you haven't already and want to like or subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Also, let me know in the comments if you have any fun build ideas we can do on the island. And with that, I'll see you next time for a villager hunt. Bye!